JB and myself were lucky enough to see this film on a Monday morning, which was actually perfect because it's so uplifting, bit weird, which we love.
Yeah, in a good way.
Yeah, in a great way. Now, you play Daniel, and he is tasked with relocating this brother and sister who've been on this remote island. Why is it such a challenge for him to try and get them off of there?
Well, he doesn't normally do face-to-face, so he's sort of battling his own inner, he finds it very hard to relate to people and talk to people. He's quite nervous, and then they are absolutely insane. So I think the mixture of the two things together, they've never met people from the mainland, really, and they've been brought up totally on their own, and so they're just ready to kind of attack anyone who arrives. And then they also both, because he's the first person they've met, really, they both kind of fall slightly in love. You know what I mean? Like with him, which is he's not prepared for that either. So it's all a bit much for Daniel.
I like that. It's all a bit much. That should be on the poster for the film. It's all a bit much. I mean, even though they're a little bit hostile towards him, shall we say, at the start, they do eventually find a bit of common ground, don't they? Yeah,
I think that's the kind of the bigger message that's within the film, is that he goes to them and he has. When I see the film, when I think about the film, it's like it's a nice place to spend time.
Yeah. Now, I mean, it was shot in the stunning Scottish Highlands, beautiful scenery. What was it like filming in such a remote location, though?
Well, it was that thing that people say where you get all the seasons in a day. It was sort of, we got attacked by, everything. It was absolutely lashing rain and then blistering sunshine, which is worse for me because I'm a redhead. So it was like, it was really, really, it was very intense and very beautiful, and an amazing thing to film in that part of Scotland where I'd never been before. Yeah.
And the local wildlife, we understand, really wanted to get in on the action. They wanted their close-up too.
I thought you were talking about the local people. No. I was like, you can't call them wildlife. What are you doing? No.
That's wildlife.
How dare you?
Strictly the animals.
The people of Wick are gorgeous.
Yes.
No, it was, we filmed on the edge of a cliff. And it was very scary. One of my co-stars had a bit of a panic attack. It was a really intense day, and they hung me over the edge of the cliff. And they were filming down on me, and then it was that moment that I got literally attacked by a swarm of midges. And to the point that they couldn't use the shot. There was too many midges on my face and between myself and the camera to use. And maybe one of my worst days on set ever. So thanks for bringing it up. Is what I'm saying.
Healing.
Yeah, it
healing
is.
Circle.
This is. Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah. Speaking of healing, folklore and magic and mysteries and storytelling is a huge part and a huge theme of the film. Now, your character kind of claims a story that's famous of his own, doesn't he?
Yeah, they tell him these great stories about their own mythology. And then they ask him, does he know any stories? And he says, yes, he does. And then he just basically makes The Lord of the Rings a story about himself. So he's talking about a guy named Frodo who works for the local council, who's kind of got to go to the paper shredder in Mordor, this sort of stuff. And so he kind of took that on. And so a big part of the film is him imagining that he's invented Lord of the Rings, which is his favourite thing in the world.
Yeah, and it's one of their favourite stories, isn't it?
Exactly. And one of your favourites, Susie, I know you're a massive Tolkien fan because just like your good self, he was also a lexicographer. That's so cool.
He was. He worked at the Oxford English Dictionary. He wrote the entry for Walrus, which is one of my all-time favourites, as well as for Hobbit. He actually wrote the definition of Hobbit, which he took from Hole Dweller, I think. And yeah, it's actually in my novel as well because he was so amazing. He actually, instead of creating